powerful Deep Space Telescope in China has detected something that challenges the very foundation of modern physics. The object known as 3I/AL, an interstellar intruder, was observed traveling at a velocity that appears to surpass the speed of light. This was not a malfunction, not a hypothesis, but a measured and corroborated irregularity. If accurate, it overturns Einstein's limits, disrupts causality, and points toward forces still beyond our grasp. This was not merely a comet. It may mark a pivotal moment in science. The arrival came quietly. On July 1st, 2025, a faint shimmer appeared in the southern sky, recorded by one of the automated telescopes in Chile belonging to the Atlas Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System. Built to search for potential collision threats, Atlas instead encountered something entirely unexpected. A rapidly moving point of light followed a trajectory that wasn't curved enough, a path that never returned. Within 48 hours, orbital calculations confirmed growing suspicions. This object did not originate here. It was labeled 3E/A, identifying it as only the third confirmed interstellar object ever seen, following 1/Muamua in 2017 and 2I/Borisov in 2019. Yet even among these rare visitors, this one was different. While earlier arrivals inspired intrigue, this object carried speed, intensity, and an unsettling silence. Its hyperbolic eccentricity exceeding 1 showed it was not gravitationally bound to the sun. Its trajectory traced back far beyond the Kuiper Belt, beyond the Oort cloud, beyond the reach of long-period comets. What made 3/A extraordinary was not only its rarity, but the opportunity it offered. This was cosmic correspondence, matter from another star system delivered by chance. Its estimated speed of roughly 58 kilometers per second was swift, but normal for an interstellar traveler. Even so, its presence gave scientists a rare chance to examine material formed around another sun billions of years ago. Then the anomaly surfaced. Amid the excitement, reports surfaced from a Chinese deep field observatory. A high-speed imaging telescope, originally intended to capture optical counterparts to gravitational waves, recorded something deeply unsettling. 3I/Atlas was not just fast, it was impossibly fast. In one frame, it leapt across the sky in a way that contradicted known physics. The team withheld the footage for 17 hours, searching for system failures. What followed shifted everything. Celebration gave way to concern. The data suggested behavior forbidden to any object with mass, motion exceeding the speed of light. Curiosity turned to alarm. What exactly had been observed? A comet? A fragment of rock? Or was something entirely different, something physics could not account for? Attention moved from Chile to China, from discovery to verification. The telescope that made the claim now faced unprecedented scrutiny. It was the instrument that saw too much. The device was the Tiangong Deep Field Array, positioned in the mountains of Sichuan and operated by the Chinese National Space Administration, CNSA. At the time, it was conducting routine calibration scans of a sky region labeled HRX 4402, chosen for its low background noise and minimal interference. Nothing unusual was expected. Yet a 2.44 millisecond frame captured a dark flicker, an object that neither emitted light nor blocked it conventionally, but erased it. Technicians initially dismissed it as a glitch, possibly a cosmic ray or dropped frame. But cross-checks with 2 redundant sensor arrays revealed the same anomaly, precisely aligned in timing, coordinates, and trajectory. The object had shifted 0.38 arcseconds in under 3 milliseconds at an estimated distance of 12.7 million light-years. That implied a transverse velocity above 340,000 kilometers per second, roughly 113% the speed of light. Alarm sounded. Engineers rechecked clock synchronization, metadata, parallax, and thermal drift. More than a dozen tests were run against error margins. Over the next 6 hours, the same anomaly appeared on 2 independent ground-based telescopes in Xinjiang and Inner Mongolia. while a backup system aboard the Tiangong station confirmed it during low-light calibration. The motion was not an artifact. It was real. The following day, at 8:32 China Standard Time on July 3, 2025, CNSA issued a Level 2 alert to international observatories. The object 32/Atlas appeared to exceed Einstein's speed limit. Carefully worded, the notice triggered continuous audits by NASA, ESA, and JAXA. Some dismissed it outright. Others hesitated. Strange things had appeared before. But if 3/A truly exceeded light speed, the consequences would fracture fundamental physics. Science, however, advances through confirmation, repetition, and reluctant agreement. Over the next 72 hours, observatories across 5 continents turned skyward. What they confirmed did more than deepen the mystery. It challenged the one barrier no known object had ever crossed: the cosmic speed limit. Einstein's special relativity, published in 1905, sets an absolute rule. Nothing with mass can move faster than light in a vacuum. Approximately 299,792 kilometers per second. Breaking this rule breaks causality. Time distorts. Mass becomes infinite. Energy demands exceed the universe's supply. In short, it should be impossible. Yet the measurements suggested otherwise. Using refined angular data from July 4th to 5th, 2025, and updated distance estimates from parallax triangulation, teams at ESO's Parinal Observatory and the Manaka observatories recalculated the motion. Their results matched the Chinese findings. The object had moved 0.38 arcseconds in 2.44 milliseconds at a distance, implying roughly 113% the speed of light. The error margins were narrow. The motion was real, and no existing model could explain it. The implications were staggering. If 3/A truly exceeded light speed, causality could fail. Effects might precede causes. Communication across time becomes conceivable. Worse still, mass moving at superluminal speeds would require infinite energy or imaginary values. Time dilation would collapse. Physics itself would fracture. Everything we know about motion, matter, and light would need rewriting. Resistance followed. More than 30 physicists, including teams at CERN, demanded further confirmation. Possibilities like lensing artifacts or processing errors had to be ruled out. But within 48 hours, independent confirmations arrived from South Africa, the Canary Islands, and Australia. The motion persisted. The speed held. Humanity faced an unsettling question. Had the impossible just occurred? Then came something stranger. When researchers examined temperature, composition, and emissions, they found nothing. Not weak signals, not ambiguous values, nothing at all. No heat, no light, no interaction. It was as if the universe did not register its presence. And yet it was there, the invisible visitor. It did not glow, burn, or reflect. Observations across infrared, ultraviolet, microwave, and X-ray wavelengths revealed nothing. No radiation, no emission lines, no thermal trace. Even the James Webb Space Telescope measured its temperature as indistinguishable from the cosmic microwave background, about 2.7 Kelvin. For all practical purposes, it was colder than space. It was seen not by presence, but by absence. As it crossed star fields, it did not lens light or block it. Instead, stars vanished for milliseconds, then returned unchanged. No distortion, no diffraction, just silence. Even black holes interact. They warp space-time. They emit Hawking radiation. They accrete matter. This object did none of that. There was no tail, no coma, no interaction with the interstellar medium, despite slicing through solar wind at nearly 60 kilometers per second. Instruments expected ionized wakes or displaced hydrogen. They found nothing. The question grew darker. Was this truly an object at all? Or a space-time event? A negative imprint mistaken for substance? Comparisons emerged to quantum vacuum theory, Casimir fields, and Hawking's virtual particles, entities defined by subtraction rather than addition. In every data set, 3I/ was not there, yet it acted. that made it more unsettling than anything that simply shone. Then another boundary fell. It bent light, but not like gravity, not like mass. It sculpted space from within. Astronomers realized they were not observing an object, but geometry itself coming undone. Gravitational lensing measures mass by how it bends light. Massive bodies warp space-time, curving photon paths. But 3I/A did not bend. It redirected. Background stars twisted into spirals, tiny helices of light wobbling as if stirred. Stars shifted briefly, then snapped back, folded rather than smeared. The effect resembled warped glass, without magnification or chromatic distortion. Space behind it seemed compacted and rotated, folded inward rather than bent by mass. It suggested the object was not in space-time. It was manipulating space-time's topology. Theories erupted. Some proposed a stable wormhole throat, a remnant of primordial inflation. Others suggested topological defects from early universe symmetry breaking, like cosmic strings or domain walls. Another idea gained traction. The object was not moving through space-time. It was carrying space-time with it, dragging its own metric like a bubble through fabric. An optical physicist offered a striking analogy: lensless cloaking, where light is guided around an object without reflection or absorption. In those experiments, cloaked objects disappear. But here, the cloak was the object. 3I/Atlas was not shaped like a comet or probe. It was shaped like a violation of rules. Then, just as scientists began mapping its silence and distortions, it responded. Not with sound, not with radiation, but with rhythm. For 2.2 seconds, faint filamentary halos appeared. Symmetrical, mathematical, unnatural. They were timed, structured, and disturbingly responsive. At exactly 3:22 Universal Time, coordinated on July 6, 2025, deep field stacked images revealed a new feature. Around the void of 3I/, a thin lattice of infrared filaments formed, expanding and contracting in perfect symmetry. Unlike cometary outgassing or thermal effects, these appeared with precision. Every 11.2 seconds, they flared and faded. Order, not chaos. Then came the interaction. When the Chinese array adjusted its angular view by 0.887 degrees, the next pulse arrived 12.4 milliseconds late. The precise light travel delay between the object's projected position and the telescope's new field. It was as if the object noticed. The next 5 pulses followed prime number intervals, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 seconds, before dissolving into a fractal harmonic echo. This was not random. It was algorithmic. The object was no longer passive. It tracked observation itself. Ground systems detected minute spatial nudges in telescope mounts during each pulse, micrometric shifts matching feedback corrections. 3I/ was not simply observed. It was interacting with observation. The room split. Was this intelligence? A probe? A mechanism? Or evidence that reality itself responds to attention? Ideas ranged from non-local entanglement to quantum measurement triggers, even panpsychist interpretations. One fact was undeniable. Something in the sky had responded to being seen. The question shifted. Why now? Why this year? This telescope? Historical data from 2007 to 2024 showed nothing. Pan-STARRS, Gaia, all silent. For 18 years, the coordinates were empty. Then in July 2025, when instruments became sensitive enough to detect subarcsecond fluctuations, the void moved. It was as if it had waited. Invisible not because of distance, but by choice. A physicist from Shanghai University, Dr. Lihu Jian, captured the unease in 6 words that spread worldwide. We didn't find it. It found us. Correlation showed the first motion spike aligned precisely with the Tangent Array's deep field activation on July 1st, 2025, at 3:12 Universal Time coordinated. The telescope was running an experimental AI-driven filtering algorithm designed to suppress noise and amplify rare spectral gaps. The object appeared only after the algorithm adjusted, as if the universe reacted to a new pattern of observation. Coincidence, some argued. Others sensed a darker symmetry. If 3/A responded to observation, then the line between observer and participant blurred. Were we watching or collaborating? Did the universe contain dormant systems awakened by intelligence? Quantum mechanics echoed across light years. Schrödinger's cat scaled to the cosmos. By seeing it, have we changed it? Astronomy gave way to metaphysics. If observation awakens reality, what else lies dormant, waiting to be seen? Scientists, philosophers, and theologians debated whether 3/ was a messenger, a mechanism, or a mirror. From this uncertainty emerged four bold theories. The first came from the University of Cambridge in late July 2025. The wormhole remnant theory. Physicists proposed that 3/E/ might not be a physical object at all, but a stable Einstein-Rosen bridge, a space-time throat left behind by a primordial wormhole collapse. Such a structure could appear void-like, emit no radiation, and produce apparent superluminal motion as an illusion caused by folded geometry. And disturbingly, the mathematics almost worked. As July 2025 unfolded, the global scientific community grappled with the implications. Every observation raised new questions. If 3I/Atlas was a wormhole remnant, then what did it connect? A distant star system? Another galaxy? Or an epoch long vanished? Could it be a bridge not just through space, but through time itself? Speculation swirled, but every hypothesis ran up against the same obstacle. This was no ordinary object. It was as if the universe had left a footprint, not of matter, but of possibility. Meanwhile, data continued to accumulate. Each new frame revealed filaments, pulses, and distortions that defied conventional understanding. Researchers began to model the pulses mathematically, noting fractal repetition and harmonic resonance that echoed across multiple wavelengths. No known natural phenomenon behaved like